right. Hello, boys and girls, third, fourth, and fifth graders. This is our next lesson is part 2 of creating narrative predictions. So last week you had like 3 templates, and really it was a brainstorming activity. So you were trying to decide on like kind of an idea for a story. So I picked narrative predictions family celebration. I mean, it's kind of a celebration. This is more about my trip to Washington State, which I've been drawing a lot about this while we've been off in quarantine. So this is the picture I chose. I did not glue it down. I just kind of wanted to show you. You don't have to find it. If you know in your head the middle, okay, what the picture is or what the thing is that you're trying to write a story about, that's fine. But I don't know if you can see this, but this is a rock in the ocean actually, and the tide is out, so it's low tide, and we could see all these starfish. So this is something that we did in summer in Washington State on the West Coast. And before this picture happened, we had to get up really early to beat the tide. So we had to go when it was low tide, otherwise these creatures, these sea stars and sea anemones would not be exposed. And then we had to hike a mile out to the beach. So we had to make sure that we timed it right. And then once we got out there, we got to walk all around the beach and out to what they call sea stacks, which are these really large rocks, to see these amazing sea stars. So here's my little book, and I'm gonna do it as a fast forward to show you how I colored it. I already drew the pictures in before recording it, but I will show it to you. And I chose to do a Zine, and I'm just going to quickly show it to you because the steps on the PowerPoint in the digital version, there are steps on how to make this, but it actually seems a little more complicated, and it's not that complicated. So you want to fold your paper into 8 squares. So the way we're going to do that is by folding it in half, okay, like a hot dog. Okay, then I turned my paper and I folded it in half to make more of like a hamburger now. So not folding skinny, we're folding more hamburger style. Okay, then I found the easiest way was just to open that up and fold each edge to the crease. So this edge to the center, open it up, fold this edge to the center, and if you've done any origami with me, you know that you really want to make that nice and crease so you can just run your nail. Actually, you can run a marker down the side, whatever. Okay, so we're going to open it back up. Okay, and we're going to fold it in half now, but not long and skinny like a hot dog, short and fat like a hamburger this time. Okay. And what you're going to do is cut this first rectangle. So from the creased side, the side that's not open, okay, this side's open, this is the creased side. We're going to cut from the crease to the second folded line. Okay, so 1 unit basically. So I'm going to cut there and stop. Ooh, I'm going to try to get right on my folded line, my creased line. Okay, then I'm going to open it back up. Now I have this slit in the center. Okay, it's easier to see like this. And I'm going to fold it again like a hot dog. And I'm going to turn it on its side, and it has this diamond shape. And so all I'm going to do is pinch those diamond shapes on either end, okay, and fold it over. And then you have a book. I believe they call it a Zine. So front, middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages, and you could write and then draw, write, draw, write and draw on one side. That'll keep it nice and short. Or you can do what I did And I did a title page, and I did like words and pictures on each page. Okay. I'm going to speed up my coloring so that you can see my sketching. Not that you need me to do that for you on this particular project, but some of you might enjoy that. And then I can't wait to see your books. All right, boys and girls, so here the book is all finished. It's called, I used colored pencils. I created a zine, which I can show you how to do. And also it's step by step in the digital content. Okay. So I created a little zine. My book is called Second Beach, Washington State, Summer 2019 by Miss Oss. Pictures and words. 4 a.m. We had to get up super early so that we could get to the beach at low tide. It was a 1-mile hike out to the beach where we got to climb over driftwood, which is pieces of wood that have floated up from the ocean. We got to see the water, sea stacks, and tide pools. People could camp on the beach. Low tide exposes the sea stacks, or the big rocks in the ocean. So while the tide is out, and it's a very limited amount of time, you can go and see the sea anemones, the barnacles, the mussels, the sea stars, lots of other things. What we saw in the tide pools: sea anemones, sea stars, barnacles, crabs, mussels, and more. It was time to leave as the water started to come back in. It can become quite dangerous. The tide started coming back in. The rocks will be covered with water. It can be dangerous. You have to know when you're hiking out west on the coast when the tide is coming back, because you don't want to get stuck with the water coming back in. Covers back up the rocks. Some of the big rocks that you could see in low tide, okay, get completely covered up. And we hiked the mile back to the truck, tired and happy. The end. So that is my little book that I'll probably keep because I enjoyed doing that, about my trip to see the tide pools in Washington State. All right, can't wait to see what you turn in.